Hey guys, and how about we watch a death battle, Guts versus Nightmare. So I'm about to link you to the official release, but before I want to give just a quick warning. I don't know much about Nightmare, but I actually watched the anime Berserk in preparation for this death battle. And Guts has a rather dark and gruesome, graphic, sad background. So, if you don't want to see violence and gore and a lot of kind of bad stuff, you probably shouldn't watch this death battle. But if you'd like to, if you're fine with that, make sure to click here to go to the official release first, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, then come back here and we'll watch it together. So as I said, I actually watched the 25 episode anime Berserk before this death battle came out. So after, Chuck Norris versus Sega Sanshiro, I decided I would watch Berserk, because why not? I had the time. If you'd like to know my thoughts on it, you could also click here to go to my last video, Let's Talk Berserk, where basically, I just give some of my feelings about it. It has spoilers, but I do start with a bit of a non-spoiler segment, so if you'd like to just hear a little bit, feel free to go there and check it out. But anyway, apparently, that's more like a prologue to the actual manga of Berserk, and so really, I don't know much about Guts at all. I thought I did, I guess not. So I like him as a character, and I see a direction where he could go, but I don't know where he would go, because I don't know where the series went. As for Nightmare, I've played Soul Calibur games, but it's been a while, and I really don't know his story from them. They probably told some of his story, but it was a long time ago. I was young and didn't really care back then, so I don't know a ton. So I did no research on Nightmare, and I know about nothing. I did some research on Guts, watching his entire anime, and I know about nothing. So if you don't know, we're kind of in the same boat here. So not really knowing about either of the characters, I can't give my prediction as to who would win until after the analyses. So with that said, let's get to watching. So here we go. Guts versus Nightmare. I like Guts. I'm hoping he'll win.
For untold decades, scientists have searched for a legitimate method of measuring a person's level of badassness.
Oh, have they?
Completely missing the obvious answer.
The giant sword?
Just check out the size of his sword!
Yeah.
Like Guts, the brutal Black Swordsman from Berserk.
And Nightmare, the demonic scourge from Soul Calibur.
Cool.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job
Guts
to
really
analyze
was
their weapons,
awesome.
armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Oh, sweet. Okay. 2D, I didn't know that. Now I do. I guess we're starting with Berserk right here. Let's go, Guts.
In the realm of Midland, rumors run rampant of a man wielding a humongous blade slaying any who get in his way. But before his legend grew, this Black Swordsman was known simply as Guts.
That's right.
Oh man, I'm so excited. Guts is one of the most badass and hardcore characters ever.
It's fun when Boomstick's excited.
But the story of Guts is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, it's kinda dark. You've been
A
warned.
little bit.
After a brutal massacre, Guts was born from the corpse of his mother, who'd been hanged from a tree.
And we're just getting started. Baby Guts was discovered by a traveling band of mercenaries and was adopted by the camp whore.
Who died to plague 3 years later.
Oh.
With no one left to
Wasn't
turn
sure how
to, Guts was mentored by the mercenary leader Gambino, who began training him in swordsmanship when he was just 6 years old.
Hey, Guts! Why don't you use a smaller sword, one right for your side? We don't carry any baby-sized swords for kids here anyway.
Who watches
An
the English
extremely
dub?
determined student of war, Guts was soon brought onto the battlefield and killed his first man at the age of 9.
Despite his skill, life wasn't all murder, sunshine, and rainbows. Young Guts was constantly abused in many ways that I don't really want to go into. But these awful things he had to endure kickstarted the long, excruciating process of grooming Guts into the scariest man in the world.
After killing his crazed adoptive father in self-defense, Guts became a lone mercenary, and a damn good one. Recognized for his skill, he was recruited by the mercenary crew called the Band of the Hawk, led by an ambitious man named Griffith. The Hawk's Raiders would be Guts' first taste of camaraderie and friendship.
Over the next 3 years, they single-handedly ended a 100-year war. Things were looking up for Guts. And then Griffith summoned a horde of demons, transformed into a bat monster, murdered all of Guts' friends, and claimed ownership of Guts' soul by branding his neck. If that wasn't traumatic enough, Griffith then raped Guts' girlfriend in the pool of his friend's blood as he watched, pinned down with his eye gouged out and forced to cut off his own arm.
Definitely not his best day.
No.
After all that, Guts dedicated his entire life to murdering Griffith as painfully and brutally as possible, while fighting demons on a daily basis as they are drawn to his brand like moths to a flame.
But to do this, he needs the right tools for the job. He carries a belt of throwing knives and a pouch of mini bombs even demons can't take.
Oh,
He also
bombs. I
received
didn't know
a
that.
new mechanical hand, which houses a flamethrower, repeater crossbow, and a hidden single-shot cannon. Perfect for blasting a demon's face off.
Right.
Surprise, bitch!
But none of that compares to Guts' primary tool of destruction, the giant blade known as Dragon Slayer.
Oh. I bet it can slay dragons.
Massive.
I don't think that
thick,
song was part of it.
heavy, and far too rough. It's too big to be called a sword. More like a heap of raw iron. And it might just be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Oh, boomstick.
Forged by the legendary hermit Godo, Dragon Slayer was made to, well, slay a dragon.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Unfortunately, it was laughed off as impossible to use by anyone.
Except for Guts.
Sitting 6.5 feet long and weighing over 400 pounds, the Dragon
Jeez.
Slayer is enormous, though not unfeasible. In real life, the largest sword ever used in battle belonged to a Frisian freedom fighter and stood 7 feet tall.
But
though
it's
it
so
wasn't
thin.
nearly as heavy, only 14 pounds.
With a single swing of Dragon Slayer, Guts can cleave through a man wearing heavy armor. Along with his weapon, his horse, and any other people, animals, or demons who happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
This is true. I can vouch for
after
this.
killing over 1,000 demons, no, I did not stutter, Dragon Slayer has bathed in so much demonic blood that it now rests in both the physical and astral planes of existence. Somehow.
Oh.
Meaning it is capable of harming any supernatural being.
Oh,
Even ghosts!
okay.
Guts is an absolute monster in combat. He can move faster than the eye can track, killed 100 soldiers on his own in a single night, and once jumped in the mouth of a giant sea god, cut his way through it, and killed it from within.
You intend to gamble your life on a single strike.
Guts will do anything to defeat his foes, including jumping into fire or allowing himself to be impaled just to gain an advantage. And
Yeah, Guts will do
somehow
just
he
about
always
anything.
survives. He's fallen hundreds of feet, gotten stabbed through the face, taken 1,000 supernatural punches at once, and even been run over by an elf fairy Mothra going supersonic speeds.
Huh.
But his disregard for his own safety can be costly. Honestly, the only reason he's still alive is pure dumb luck and unstoppable willpower.
And if Guts wasn't tough enough on his own, he wears the Berserker armor, the most insane battle gear you've ever seen.
Activating the Berserker armor seals off the wearer's nervous system,
Oh.
making him immune to pain and its natural inhibitions.
Really?
This allows Guts to fight at his fullest potential, boosting his power and speed at the risk of damaging his own body.
With this armor, Guts' sword swing is more powerful than a cannonball, though the Force can break his own arm. But don't worry, the cursed Berserker armor will literally rip and pierce his body to pin the bones and muscle back in place.
Oh.
Now, don't get the wrong idea. The armor does not actually heal Guts. It just holds him together.
Oh.
This is dangerous because, well, even though Guts won't feel pain, that doesn't make him invincible.
Right.
Plus, the Berserker armor also kinda forces Guts to give in to his inner demons and lose all sense of morality and restraint, making him the most violent demon killer ever.
Violent and completely uncontrollable.
Guts is the embodiment of rage and the epitome of badassery. Believe me, the last thing you want to do is get in this guy's way.
My sword has gotten very dull. However, it's 3 times as thick and does 3 times the damage of a normal sword. You'd better pray you die quickly, or this could be painful.
I really prefer the Japanese dub. I do. That's just
long
me.
ago, transcending history and the world, an enormous sword was forged, designed to be the deadliest weapon on the
It
battlefield.
just looks freaky.
It was called Soul Edge, and it was a beast. Gigantic, powerful, sexy.
At a daunting 6 feet 1 inch in length,
wouldn't say
no
that.
ordinary soldier could wield it. But those who could proved unstoppable.
It left no survivors in its wake, just like my ex-wife at an all-you-can-eat buffet.
However, a great evil dwelt within the sword. After claiming victory upon victory and being bathed in the blood and hatred of countless foes, a fire was born inside Soul Edge.
Okay.
Literally, it's a demon made of friggin' fire.
Oh.
The demon Inferno had one purpose: to infect the world with evil and chaos. But in order to accomplish this, he needed a warrior capable of wielding the true power of Soul Edge. He planned to possess this warrior and transform them into the azure-clad Knight of Darkness, Nightmare.
Oh. Okay, that's where Nightmare comes
Inferno's
in.
first victim came in the late 16th century, when a pirate named Cervantes de Leon raided an English galleon and discovered the intriguing blade aboard,
Oh.
claiming it as his own.
But as we know, this was no ordinary flesh-covered sword with an eyeball.
No,
Inferno
no.
seized this opportunity and possessed the pirate, testing his body by slaughtering the entire population of a Spanish port town. Talk about a test drive!
Unfortunately, while powerful, Cervantes was not the ideal vessel Inferno sought.
So we made him sit in that town until two chicks showed up, killed his ass, and somebody more powerful picked up the sword.
Okay.
That someone was a knight named Siegfried, and this was the body Inferno was looking for. Once Siegfried's hand touched Soul Edge, Inferno began eating away at his soul, torturing him endlessly and feeding on his fear and anger, transforming him into Nightmare.
So decently
Nightmare
dark as
was
well.
powerful enough to threaten all of Europe, conquering whole armies and devouring thousands of innocent souls.
If you haven't figured it out by now, Soul Edge is kind of like the ring from Lord of the
Right,
Rings.
yeah.
If it could cut people and hungered for souls.
However, Soul Edge's power was incomplete. At some point, it had been broken, and shards of the demon's sword had been scattered across the world. To unlock Soul Edge's true power, Nightmare set off to find the lost pieces of his sword and repair it.
As
Was he
Nightmare
successful?
discovered each shard, the power of Soul Edge grew.
I guess
and
so.
so did Nightmare's. He
Ooh.
can fight with numerous stances, channel fire and lightning through Soul Edge, and devour the souls of hundreds at once with Soul Wave.
Watch this.
So it's pretty powerful then. And that just eats their
Despite
souls?
Nightmare's
Huh.
ever-growing power, Siegfried constantly battled to free himself from Soul Edge's curse, and eventually he succeeded.
Oh,
The
good for
two did
him.
battle atop Osterreinsberg Castle, but Nightmare's power was so great, the entire structure was obliterated by a single swing of his vile blade.
Oh.
Just like a crazy ex-girlfriend, he figured if he couldn't have that body, no one can.
Soul Edge cannot be defeated by an ordinary blade. In fact, only one weapon has ever been able to harm it, a supposedly holy blade called Soul Calibur.
Oh.
Unknown to most,
Okay.
Soul Calibur is actually the final shard of Soul Edge,
No,
reforged
did
into
not
a
know that.
second sword made specifically to combat its demonic counterpart.
Poor guy. How would you feel if some asshole decided to make a weapon specifically designed to murder you? And it kept showing up everywhere.
Nightmare has come close to conquering the world on numerous occasions, yet a warrior wielding Soul Calibur always seems to show up and hold him at bay.
How dare they?
While Soul Edge seems
Heroes.
indestructible,
Apart from that pesky holy sword.
Inferno does require a mortal body to create Nightmare. Should Nightmare fall, Inferno can risk his own life by manifesting himself to protect Soul Edge, as his very existence is tied to the sword.
But if Nightmare manages to absorb that final shard, Soul Edge and Nightmare will merge into their ultimate form. Night Terror.
Uh-oh.
A larger, deadlier, flyier Nightmare.
Flyer.
Flyer.
Yeah, when one gains the power of flyingness? Duh.
No matter the time, place, or vessel, few can match the vile trio of Soul Edge, Inferno, and Nightmare.
Blood. Darkness. I shall drown the world in both.
All right,
Tricky,
the
tricky.
bets are set. Let's end this
Getting ready
debate
to pause?
once and for all.
It's time for a death battle.
And
Giant swords, yeah!
pause. Okay, talking about this now. I will be honest, this is probably due to my bias of liking him and having watched the show, but I think Guts is going to win, and I really want Guts to win. Will I be a little bit disappointed if he doesn't? Yeah, but I'm sure they'll tell me why. So, hey, this is why I think, though, that he could win. They mentioned that, like, no sword has yet been able to defeat Soul Edge except for Soul Calibur because it was made from the final shard and da-da-da. But we know that Guts' blade is no ordinary blade, just as Guts is no ordinary swordsman. No, Guts' blade is able to defeat ghosts and other such demons. I feel that since his blade, you know, apart from just being super powerful and him being super powerful wielding it, his blade is actually, like, meant at this point to slay demons. Like, that's what it's been able to do because it's been bathed in demon blood and whatnot. So it's, like, part terrestrial, part astral, or whatever they called it. So I'm thinking that Guts has a really good chance with that. What makes me worry are things like the Soul Wave, because I don't know if it can be countered. But one thought that just occurred to me is maybe because his soul was like already sacrificed to the demon people, it's kind of untouchable at this point. I don't know. But then Night Terror, that makes me worry too, because it's like, oh, you have to beat the body first. Okay, Guts can probably do that. Oh, then you have to beat Nightmare too? Okay, maybe Guts can pull that off. Oh, you have to beat Night Terror as well? 3 against 1, so to speak. Kinda sounds bad in his favor. However, he does have that armor, which is really, really cool apparently, in the whole in the nervous system and whatnot. I don't know. Like, there are a lot of different things to think about. It's hard to compare their strength because I've seen Guts do amazing things, and I've heard Nightmare from this has done some pretty big things. Just being able to compare them is what makes it difficult, and I can't really do that. I want to say that Guts is going to win, so Guts is going to win. Now we just get to see how he pulls it off, or how Nightmare turns around and makes me sorry I said that. So, play. Alright, Guts, you've got this. I have faith in you. Total faith? No. But faith? Yes, indeed. Destroy that demon. Oh, we're not messing around. We're gonna start off like this. It's like he doesn't even start with an unfinished blade. I kind of thought that would happen during the battle, not before the battle.
You're in my way. Stand aside.
Something about darkness? I wasn't sure what he said there. I mean, Guts has fought demons before, he has. So, I didn't even talk about his other arsenal. He has more than just a sword. We'll see, we'll see. Sorry. You okay?
What's wrong?
Oh, I was like, what's going on? Okay.
Die!
He's not dead, but that was good, Guts. So there goes the mortal body. And now here's Nightmare. Oh, that's Night Terror. Fly here. Oh, no. Come on, Guts. You can do it. Ow. Still have faith, man. Yes, he did it! He charged through! Just stab the eye. Just like downward stab the eye. Oh.
I told you to stay out of my way.
It's not over, Guts. It's never over like that. Oh. I thought it was Night Terror after this. Okay. Here's the armor! Was that it? It was it! Yeah!
Now that's what I call a sword fight. While Nightmare wields more power than Guts, this is what Guts does every single day.
Yeah.
He gets the shit kicked out of him trying to defeat gods and demons, leagues above his abilities, and still prevails.
It's true, all his life.
I mean, this guy lives in a world where giant monsters are trying to kill you, eat you, rape you, or all three at the same time.
Yeah?
And that's just Monday.
It's true. All his life, Guts has had the odds stacked against him, and yet he's still kicking while everything else is dead.
Oh, I'm proud.
Wizard, I thought only Soul Calibur could destroy Soul Edge.
That's
demon
also
bit.
true in the Soul Calibur world. However, Inferno exists on an astral plane. If you recall, Guts' sword Dragon Slayer also exists on such a plane, leaving no question that it could destroy Soul Edge. Plus, his Berserker armor bought him plenty of time to land the killing blow.
Yeah, because it will literally let you fight on until all of your bones are shattered and the last drop
Blood
of your
gushed
blood
out
is
before
spilled.
dying.
And it's not like Soul Edge was going to have any
Jeez.
luck tempting Guts into picking it up and turning into another nightmare. Not only has Guts dealt with enough demonic shit to know that's a bad idea, he really loves that Dragon Slayer. He's not giving that up
Why
for
wouldn't
anything.
you?
Guts was just a whole nother caliber.
The winner is Guts.
Claps for Guts. Good job. All right, next time on Death Battle.
Next time on
Here we
Death
go. Oh, it's Iron Man. Versus whom? It better not be a DC character, because people will freak
Like
out.
the old saying, if you want someone killed right, you have to kill him yourself.
Is that Lex? Lex Luthor? Crap, it is DC! Fanboys are gonna rage!
Everybody click that like button if you like huge ass sword battles. And
Ooh,
be
1
sure
minute
to share
melee.
and
A
subscribe.
lot of people would be
In
a
the mood
fan
for
of
more
that
action?
battle
Check
right
out
there.
the latest
Lucario
1
versus
minute melee
Venomon.
between Lucario
People would go
and
crazy.
Venomon. Yes, Pokemon versus Digimon. It's happening.
And be sure
This is
to
a 1
pick
minute
up
melee,
Angry
not a
Video
death battle,
Game
but
Nerd
still,
Adventures on Wii
awesome.
U. We have a video game on Nintendo. Yay!
Yay! Which is really
Thanks for
cool.
watching.
Also, yeah, click the annotations if you want. I know they're about to go, but ah, you missed it. Now you'll have to go back. All right, that was good. That was good. Okay.
If you
Oh.
need a website, then look no further than Squarespace. I'm not kidding. If this wasn't the best way to create your own website, then why would Jeff Bridges, yes, the dude himself, use it? That's
yeah.
right.
Jeff Bridges.
created the website dreamingwithjeff.com, where you can listen to his album of unique and relaxing sounds
What's with all the
while
eyes,
you to
though?
sleep. And it's all thanks to Squarespace. No idea is too far out. Go to squarespace.com/screwattack to get 10% off and bring your idea to life. I
Okay.
really wasn't kidding about the whole Jeff Bridges thing. Seriously, click the dude and watch it now.
I believe it. I believe it. So much. There we go. Okay, that was the end. Alright, so there it was, the death battle, Guts versus Nightmare. I'm quite happy with the ending, and I don't have a ton to say because I feel most of the conclusion I actually kind of talked about, or you know, whatever, in my prediction. I always love these moments where the things I actually mentioned might come into play actually come into play. It makes me feel good, and I am glad that I'm right, and I'm glad the Guts won because again, I prefer him as a character, but it was a really cool fight to see, I thought. Again, that's because of my own bias of liking Guts, but that is what likes are based off of. They're based off of bias. You cannot like something without having bias. Now, liking is one thing. Making someone win because you like them more is another thing. Just want to clear up that whole bias a bit, because I often say, don't accuse the people of Screw Attack of being biased, but that's more like, don't say they made one character win over another because they were biased. Like, that's different. But I liked this one. I don't know if they actually just, like, stole clips. No, okay, stole, you know, from the respective shows or games or whatever. The voice actors, though, if they were voice actors, they seem to do a really good job. Again, I watched the Japanese dub of Berserk, so I don't really know what Guts sounds like in the English too much. But based upon the, like, the little cutscenes that they would show... Cutscenes, not cutscenes. It was part of an actual anime. Based upon the little scenes that they showed us, the voice actors sounded really accurate. And for, I think it's easier for Nightmare because you just kind of have to add the demonic, like, overlay or whatever. But it was good. I thought that sounded really good. I thought the animation was good. Like, the setting was really fitting for who the two characters were. You got to see, like, both of what both of the people could actually, like, bring to the table. You know, both of them got to show off their strength, their powers, their different abilities. And I liked that. Being able to see their personalities kind of play out during the animation, you know, while fighting, while on the field, that was good. This death battle wasn't, like, the funniest to me, just because, again, it was a much darker subject matter. There certainly was humor thrown in, but, again, it was a much darker subject matter. And I was kind of too busy, like, checking and learning about Berserk for myself, because, like, some of it I knew, and then some of it was completely branched off, further than what I knew, and so it was really interesting to get to learn more about that. And having played a bit of Soul Calibur, it was again interesting to hear more about the lore. Hearing about Soul Edge versus Soul Calibur, it did ring a bell to me. You know, I was like, oh yeah, that is a thing, but I certainly couldn't have told you that before I watched this, so... The things I like about Death Battle, you know, these analyses, learning about the characters and the games they're from, the shows they're from, or whatever, it's great. I don't really have many complaints about it. You know, like, otherwise I would have voiced them here. I can't think of anything right now. So, being nice, of course. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, you know? Just, again, be friendly. Don't throw out accusations. Just talk about the death battle. Let's have a nice little discussion in the comment section. It'll be fantastic. So with all that, thanks for watching! I hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, of course, feel free to like, comment, and if you're new, even subscribe. It means a lot, it really helps me out, and I would love to have you guys. So, tune in next time for my next video, and until then, take care. Cue outro, go!